Well, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. Really appreciate your supportive messages on the last video. And we're back here with another Leeds United video and a topical video as well with the Euros just around the corner. And unfortunately, it feels like the last major competition that Leeds United were involved in when it came to some of our stars was that Bielsa era with Llorente and Koch and Rodrigo, I believe, was part of the Spain squad then as well. I could be stood corrected on that one, but yeah, on the eve of the Euros, it is a lovely eve, I have to say. And you've caught me walking around again, of course you have. So anyway, we're back here with some. It feels quite affirmative actually when we're talking about these two pieces of transfer news. And please catch the stream earlier on, everybody. What I'm trying to do with the rumour mill is not discuss. I'm trying not to cross over when it comes to topics. So this morning's topics are very, very relevant when it comes to outgoings and ingoings. So I would, after this video, encourage you all to have a look at that. Also the Patreon as well is readily available with more content coming this week when I can. Watch the morning video to see why it might be a little bit staggered this week, but I'm trying my absolute best, and some really cool content when it comes to walking about will be coming to your screens next week. I know you guys love that, which has been a bit of a development for me, to be honest, seeing and hearing that. So the news today. So some really quality sources today reporting that Leeds United are involved in some transfer business. Alistair Gold, who I've mentioned previously, I've worked with in terms of the company, and Alistair's excellent when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur news, and I know a lot of you guys are very high on the reputable scale when it comes to Connor. Is this real? Is this not real? Well, I can tell you affirmatively, Alistair's not normally wrong. He has reported this morning, and we speculated it, that Ipswich Town are now involved in negotiations with Tottenham and Daniel Levy for Joe Rodon. Now, this is something that we speculated weeks ago. Weeks ago has been a problem for Leeds. One of the newly promoted sides looking at Joe Rodon after such a fantastic season and such a dependable season when it comes to performances and reliability, and been able to blow Leeds out of the water. Obviously, Ipswich are at a point now where they've been promoted. They've got an abundance of that lovely Premier League cash that we've had and we would love to have back right now. And obviously with a year left on his deal, 12 million quid, which is something, it's a bit of a figure that I've plucked out of thin air really, but I'm looking at his contract being extended. He's got a year left. They know they're going to make a little bit of money on him with extending that contract, and I've thought to myself, it makes a lot of logistical sense with Leeds struggling at this moment in time, from what I understand anyway, not struggling as such, but not reaching a formal agreement when it comes to money. It stands the test of time that Daniel Levy is a very scrupulous negotiator, and it does make you think maybe Leeds are struggling to meet that demand, I would expect. And when you're Ipswich Town and you coming up to the Premier League and you've got all that lovely money, and you're thinking to yourself, Burgess, Wolfenden at the back, we can definitely afford 12 to 15 million quid for a centre back. That'll be nothing for Ipswich Town. They've got a lot of wealthy owners behind them. It's not sort of completely similar, but it is similar in a way to Aston Villa being promoted when they had obviously the ownership which came in and were ready to spend big money. There's a lot of wealthy businessmen behind Ipswich Town, which gives credence to the thought that 12 to 15 million quid with their first season in the Premier League for a centre back who's going to play every single game and has played Premier League football before, has played football across when we're looking at his period in France. Are we including Wales in across Europe? Go on then, let's do it. Swansea. But yeah, we all know with Joe, and especially this season that we've seen with him, where he's just been impeccable and he's really given his career a boost. The wages, the transfer budget, you'd expect Ipswich now to be able to sort of blow Leeds out of the water when it comes to that. Leeds have restrictions when it comes to paying certain amounts back as well, which means that we can't you know, be too frivolous when it comes to spending. We've already mentioned that. So a lot of things to consider here. And yeah, Ipswich for me makes a little bit of sense. It does make a little bit of sense. And as I said, we've spoken about it. So keep an eye on that one. London World are reporting that Leeds are in talks right now with one of Pochettino's favourites, Alfie Gilchrist. Now, this would be a really nice first addition to the roster when it comes to Leeds United. Alfie Gilchrist played 11 times in the Premier League last season. He played 4 cup competitions, highly rated down there at Chelsea. And this is what I was speaking about early on, getting those loan players that are at some of the top clubs in this country. Chelsea have been renowned for improving a mass amount of talent from their youth development. Armando Broja, Tammy Abraham, and co. They've been a breeding ground of top success in the past however many years. So it's something to definitely consider looking at Chelsea's academy. I know they're not doing great now, but there was a period of time where Chelsea were winning everything. Under 16, under 18, under 21. It's now the gauntlet's been passed a little bit to Manchester City, which has obviously been bolstered by their playing style, which is from the youth ranks up. It's not just from their senior side. So yeah, I think Gilchrist would be a lovely addition. We've mentioned how he'd fit into this Leeds United side. We've mentioned that he's young, he's hungry, he's looking for minutes. And we've mentioned that we don't believe, really, when you look at it, that there's going to be many, you know, top teams at this level, as in, you know, top to decent Premier League teams looking at him and thinking, yeah, we'll take a punt. I don't think he's maybe at that level yet. Maybe he needs a Joe Rodon breakout season to be able to, you know, really consolidate himself in a way in this Premier League sphere. So yeah, I think it's going to be fascinating to see really what happens with Leeds United and these two being sort of confirmed now. You know, Leeds in a few talks as I bend down to pick my shopping up. Pause. But Leeds in talks. And as we mentioned this morning, I don't want to do the old crossover thing when it comes down to streams and videos, but it did feel that this morning Leeds are maybe struggling to meet a little bit of evaluation with Joe Rodon. And now, out of the blue, Kieran McKenna and Ipswich Town are interested in signing Joe Rodon. Now, McKenna's liked him. He's a big fan, according to several reports of him. So we're gonna have to wait and see, everybody. But as I say, it's not the end of the world for me. I love Joe Rodon's contribution, and I'm also not saying that this is going to be the end of Joe Rodon. Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer this summer, but strap in, buckle up, because I think this saga is far from over with the Welshman. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check the video out from earlier on. I'll see you in a bit.